So today I am going to take you on a little journey to Etowah Indian Mounds to learn about some of the Cherokee history. Are you ready? Let's go. So once you go out the doors here, you can begin reading through some of the informative signs which tells you about the Etowah River and the Indian Mounds themselves and the significance of what you're going to see. So right here you can actually see a ditch which was fabricated by the Cherokee, and it had numerous purposes, from burrowing to hide from enemies to even serving as the run of the river. So we will learn a lot today. It is raining, but that doesn't mean it should put a damper on your trip. Even if the weather is bad, you can still come here and enjoy a beautiful hike and learn more about the Etowah Indian Mounds. So I hope you enjoy. So here are the Etowah Indian Mounds. When you visit here, they have some very informative signs so that you know exactly what you're looking at as you walk out the trail. There are native grasses that were planted here at Etowah, so you can review what all has been planted here and understand just what the natives planted for landscape. That is the dominant mound itself, which we will walk up here shortly and check out the view. It's pretty amazing. Etowah's village was pretty big in size. It increased and decreased in size and population throughout its 600 years of occupation. And they engaged in a lot of practices: hunting, fishing, crops, pottery, cooking. However, there were times of disease and famine and all the hardships that we endure today. But the people still return to this little valley here because of its ceremonial importance and its status as an ancient capital. This is essentially where ceremonies and games were held. And they liked playing a game called Chunky. They had stones, which has stamina. It was essentially a game of chance. As you can see, there's how they played it. And here you can see how it was laid out. With the plaza being directly here in front of Mound A, which is the largest mound, and right in front of B, which is that smaller mound. So there is where the plaza would have been. Great area for playing games for sure. So here is the largest mound on the property, Mound A. Essentially, this is a symbol of chiefdom. Etowah was a Native American chiefdom. So this means that it consisted of highly structured social order and permanent political officers. kinship ruled and guided the social ranks, and political officers received the right to rule by virtue of their birth. So essentially this mound right here is a temple mound which stands about 65 feet in height. And its construction most likely began in the early years of Etowah's occupation, about AD 1000. So let's go up and take a look at this beautiful view from up top. It's 132 steps to the top of Mound A. As you can see, there's a river over there, the Etowah River. The path we just walked out, the visitor center, and here is the top of Mound A. As you can see, it is starting to erode and sink in due to the natural wear and tear of the atmospheric elements. So this is why it is important to make sure we're preserving all these historical landmarks. So here you can learn more about Mound A and Etowah. The view from up here illustrates a tribal chief greeting his villagers. They're gathered on the plaza below at sunrise. So as you can see, this is a mound of definite prominence. Just imagine looking off from here down at the plaza at everyone who resides within. As you can see, here are the two additional mounds, with the smaller one being back in the very back corner. As you can see, the view is beautiful. So now that we have checked out Mound A, let's head on down and check out the other two mounds. Only 132 steps to go. Now let's check out Mound B. This is where Structure 3 was located. Here you can see a sketch of the Structure 3. It was probably designed, from what has been examined, to serve as a site for special functions. Something possibly for those who were deemed of elite status. It was found that this structure was possibly burned and rebuilt with each new construction's effort at Mound B. So let's go on up and take a look at it. "46 stairs to the top of Mound B." So as you can already tell, this mound is already significantly smaller it would be much, much quicker to walk across. But it is still significantly higher than Mound C. So let's go check out Mound C now, as we enjoy the beautiful view from Mound A. So already, just before getting to Mound C, you can tell that its size is much smaller than our original trek up Mound A. So let's go check out what Mound C was for. So Mound C is a ceremonial mortuary. Much of Etowah's fame derives from the impressive Native American art objects that were actually recovered from here in Mound C. Mound C was excavated and actually revealed a large quantity of ceremonial goods, showing how village residents participated heavily in exchange of exotic materials such as Tennessee flint, Gulf Coast shells, and even copper from the Great Lakes area. And this is what it looked like as archaeologists began exploring what lied beneath. In 1990, President Bush signed into law the Native American Graves Protection and Reparation Act, which mandated major changes in the treatment and disposition of Native American human remains and certain artifacts. So let's go up and check out this final mound. And this one has 34 steps. So already, once again, you can see a greater difference in size than Mound A for significant reasons. Mound A was the most prominent area where the chief resided. Mound B, as we just explored, was where that home was. And then Mound C is, of course, the burial site. So I hope you learned something new and amazing about the Cherokee history. And like always, thank you for joining me on this journey, and I will see you next time as we learn and explore something new and exciting. There's also the option to go check out the Etowah River. This view is amazing. You can definitely take in all the sights and sounds here that were enjoyed in the past. There's Mound C, Mound A, which is the largest, and Mound B. So that concludes our visit here at the Etowah Indian Mounds. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the Cherokee and all of their history that is had here throughout Georgia. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Despite the rain, I think it is definitely worth visiting. You can still go up on top of each of the mounds. You can read all about the signs and the history of each of the mounds. And overall, you can enjoy the history that was here, the views that are present, and you can learn more about the significance of this beautiful place. So I hope that it inspires you to visit soon. Leave me a comment and let me know if you do.